Hi everybody, John Seville. This is your Acorn Executive Summary for the 10th of September. We talked about last week the S&P topping out in this resistance zone, the fact that we're getting low closes in the candlesticks, and we talked about the money flow really kind of dropping off, and that being my main concern. We've seen that over the last 3 days that has panned out to a decline in the index. You can see we've dropped down. We've actually had a daily intraday low below the 20-day moving average, and we've certainly crossed below the 9. So we're warning of this potential momentum downswing to the index, a possible pullback maybe down to this 1960, 1965 area where we see that previous trend line support coming into play. So, we do, however, have a lot of stocks moving in either direction. So I picked out 2 stocks from my long scan and 2 stocks from my short scan for you to add to your potential watch list for tomorrow. So first for the longs. This stock, CERS, was something that's been under a considerable downtrend for quite a while, and definitely held back by its moving average. As you can see, a lot of downward momentum turning into some sideways oscillation here in the last few days. Now, again, if we go back to look at what the smart money is doing, you can see that we've had a big jump in the money flow over very little movement really in the stock. We had a big move up today, met with some selling. We had a pull back down to the area today around that 411 mark, and from this zone there could be a decent upside potential for at least a 10% pop into that 450 area, where you can see we'll hit another area of resistance. So looking at this from around that 405 to 411, there may be some good upside potential on the long side with that, given what we're seeing across the board in the movement. Now, the next stock on the long list is QLGC. Now, this stock actually came up, was one of our picks yesterday, but I thought it was worth mentioning again today. You can see that money flow really taking right off on this stock. And today we had a shot up of 4.21% on healthy volume, 1.54 yesterday, 1.91 as we broke through resistance. So looking at any kind of a pullback back to the support could offer a potential entry zone for those looking for those types of momentum plays. And again, that's if that fills the kind of up to that gap down zone, they're down from around the low 940s to that $10 range, offers a 5-6% possible rally on that movement between the zones. Now, on the short side, we have 2 stocks. The first of which is Borg-Warner, and this is looking for more of these kind of breakdown stocks that have either formed consolidation or are breaking key support. And you can see here that Borg-Warner has been consolidating for a while, and the money flow has been holding this uptrend, which actually broke over the last 2 days. And as we see it break, volume went from 1.16 million yesterday to 1.103 million today, so holding kind of a consistent trend. So we haven't seen a significant break in the volume yet, which is kind of what you want to see for a confirmation signal. But what I found interesting here in Borg-Warner was A, the money flow, but secondly, if we actually go and have a look at the insider trading, you'll see that we've actually had some sizable sales just in the last month, 3.659 million. From the Vice President and GC and Securities and General Counsel and Securities, and we've also then got a 219,000 here on the 20th of August from another director. So there's been some insider selling action happening there, and it's been the first real sizable action for quite a while at the price of $61 and $62. Obviously, if we go back to the chart, we see that we're actually right around that zone. And of course, if we actually look at the sector that they're in, we're dealing with, the consumer goods and auto parts. And of course, if we look at things like Ford and the breakdown we've seen in GM over this last week, they're really suffering. And the auto parts suppliers could, of course, be the next ones to experience those types of drops. JCI is the next one, Johnson Controls. You can see this kind of longer period trend line that it appears we've actually just broken down through, and the volume on this was actually a little bit better than the previous stock. We see that there's been a I'll bring up the volume. In fact, we can see that the volume has steadily increased over this last little period as the drop's been going through. It's just broken down that resistance zone, so we're looking at that resistance or support for a short holding up along this trend line. And of course the moving averages also rolling over, holding the stock down. We've had closes in the bottom half of the range over the last 3 days, and we have a look at the money flow. We can see that the money flow in fact has been making a new low here, which is interesting to see given that we were actually at similar prices only a few weeks ago, and the money flow was up here at -5%, and we are now much lower. We're down at -13%. So we've had almost a 200% increase in the amount of distribution or selling off from the smart money. So this one also looking like a potential good short from around this 47 up to 48 zone, and potentially a drop all the way back down to this kind of area just around 45 or just above 45, where you can see that previous big candle up originated from. And once again, if we go to the insiders and check to see what those are doing, you can see that we've actually also had sizable transactions, a $6 million sale from the executive vice president and officer, and so $6 million going through there at $50.06. And if you have a look at where we're at currently, that's actually just a little bit above where we're at now. So that's your executive summary for today. I'd like to thank you for watching, and make sure you do hit subscribe to receive updates on our new videos. Thanks so much.